I felt like we're better than this French team.
Man, France is ass.
To be eliminated this early is just pretty brutal.
Jamal Murray, we really needed him to be at least the second or third best player, and he wasn't.
Congrats on winning with 42 free throws.
The whistles, the home court.
I don't know. I still feel very proud of our boys.
Oh, we run it back. 28, baby. That's where we're getting the gold medal.
This is Fan First Network.
Hello and welcome, Pod. Hosted an incredible watch party today. Unfortunately, the Canadian team didn't show up the same way the Hello and Welcome fans did. Here with Will Lou. Tell me your thoughts today. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm kind of bummed. Like, I'm on one hand, I'm like really happy about how the event turned out, and appreciate you guys coming through, of course. It was just a really good energy over the course of the day. But I'm also just bummed because like I felt like we're better than this French team. And we only got one game, and of course they won. Credit to them. Like they played really smart. You know, they got every call. You know, congrats on winning with 42 free throws. Cool in a 40-minute game, but like,
Crazy.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know. France played better today. It's no doubt, but I don't know. I still feel very proud of our boys for sure. More and more players are realizing how big of a platform it is to play for the national team. There's a real pride in the program. The leaders there. I know this is going to burn a guy like Shea, who's going to want to do this again. Same thing with Dylan, RJ, and so they're going to keep this thing going. We obviously got to find more talent. We would love to get more bigs in the program. Maybe find a little bit healthier of a group. You know, like Jamal Murray just wasn't himself all tournament, and if he was, that probably changes the game like this. But like still. I think there's a real pride, and I think the program's in a healthier spot. They got more sponsorships. They're able to like actually insure players to come out and all that kind of stuff too. So all the logistical barriers are sort of more solved, which is really nice.
On a player note, and like zoom out to the entire tournament, what's the one thing you're going to take away that you watched out of this team from these players, or specifically any player?
Yeah, man, Matthias Lasorte, bro. I was not familiar with your game. No, I'm kidding.
Nobody was.
I think we just need a secondary scorer more than anything else. Like Shea is amazing, and I'm not asking for a second Shea, but just like what Jamal is in the NBA. I think if RJ develops his handle a little bit more to create a little bit more of his own offense, one of those things happened. I think the program gets a lot stronger. Obviously, we need bigs, but like, yeah, that's my takeaway. Really, it's just we need a second guy.
Jerome, buddy, tell me how you're feeling right now. We're going home with no Olympic medal.
It is a bit shocking. It's too soon that all I want to say is that it's the refs, but it's definitely not the refs. It wasn't clicking. I think the size was hurting us. Their role players stepped up, and ours just weren't really there for this one. But we saw like bits of that happening throughout like the group stage, so we knew that we would need everything to click. I know everyone's ragging on him, but Jamal Murray, we really needed him to be at least the second or third best player, and he wasn't. It just wasn't there today. They ended up top of their group in the group of death. Really like the recency bias makes it feel like this like hurts like how they did all together, but I think it was like a really good run as it is. Obviously disappointing still. We also have a player who finished second in MVP, who will still be in his prime by the time we get back in 4 years. We have a lot of young players that are still available. I don't know. There's no way that this feels like this. We hit a wall.
So that's it. Canada are going home. No Olympic medals. Tell me how you're feeling.
Yeah, this is one of the worst losses I've ever experienced. We've been waiting a long time to go to the playoffs, to go to the Olympics. Sorry, it's been since 2000, and there was so much expectations here for this match and for this run. So to be eliminated this early is just pretty brutal, and the game was frustrating to watch.
What went wrong? Why did this happen?
They just started awfully. They scored 5 points in the first 8 minutes or so. Obviously, there was, you could say the refs were on France's side a little bit. But regardless, the Canadian team made some mistakes down the line, and they just didn't play as well as they could have on either end.
So what next? What now?
Now I guess we just wait another 4 years. I mean, it's tough because with the Olympics, you only get so many chances. Guys in their primes like Shea, they only have a couple of Olympics where they're at that peak. So it's just a really tough blow to recover from.
A lot of the times you hear people talk about games in these type of moments, you hear a lot of sportsmanship, a lot of taking the high road, a lot of those kind of things. Are you ready for some bitterness? Man, France is ass.
Fucking garbage.
France is ass. So here's the thing, right? They got the referees giving them about every call you could hope that you could get. Guys that don't know their names. 3 guys, Yabusele, Cordinier, and Lasorte.
Yep.
You got these guys having the games of their lives, right? And with all this happening, you know, some Canadian fatigue setting in, some Canadian self-destruction setting in. Tough part for me is that the next major tournament is 2027, so that's our next opportunity at like meaningful revenge. Nothing in the small tournament in the meantime is really gonna make this feel okay. So we gotta just eat this.
What next for this team?
Continuity, because I think one of the problems is that you could see when the group of players on the court had cohesion, and you can see when they didn't. It was pretty clear as day. So on one hand, when we have our starters on the court, guys that played in the FIBA together, I thought we had some really, really good stretches. But when you saw the bench lineup where Jamal Murray has kind of just been in and out of the program because of some personal stuff and like injury issues, contract stuff, whatever. Nemhard, who I think wasn't with the FIBA. So you have like more of a mix of players. You can just see that there's no cohesion offensively. And then based on the players themselves, not really a defensive personnel. So when you don't have either thing going for you, really, what are you going to do as a unit? In international basketball, you go up against either really, really talented teams with NBA players or teams that don't have the NBA talent, but they have professional talent that has played together maybe for 15, 20 years, depending on which country you're talking about. So we have the NBA talent that can kind of hang with some of the teams that obviously like the US and some of these other teams with NBA talent. But I think to avoid a result like this, you need a team that has cohesion. These kind of things in the long run can actually be like the catalyst for something really good. I think this type of pain, it's the kind of thing that serves as a reference point for like everything you do going forward. You are going to commit everything to making sure this doesn't happen again. So
Canada going home without a medal at the Olympics. Tell me your thoughts.
It's pretty disappointing, but I kind of saw it coming because we're pretty small in the front line, but at least as a Raptors fan, you can say RJ Barrett showed up. It looks like we got to build up Zach Edey for the next when's the next run, 4 years. So yeah, it's the whistles, the home court, but again, that might be my Raptors bias speaking.
Pretty sad. Expectations were high. Hope that Jamal would have one of those special games he's had in the playoffs, but just wasn't meant to be.
What next for this team?
I'm hoping at the grassroots level we have a Wemby type player coming up.
I hope so.
That's all I can hope for is big men. We need size.
Zach Edey, maybe?
Yeah, he would have helped.
You know what? I'm not too disappointed because, again, we haven't been here in this stage for over 20 years. So why should we be disappointed about that? I mean, hell, I actually thought Canada wasn't even going to make it to the World Cup when they had that match against Spain. But you know what? They even shocked me, so hats off to them.
So what next?
Oh, we run it back, 28, baby. That's where we're getting the gold medal.
Oh, I needed some of that, buddy. Thank you.
This is Fan First Network.
check out my channel on YouTube, Toronto Hoop Talk. Subscribe.